and welcome back for this amazing show that is Money Monday, your go-to show for financial tips, get business ideas on how your business can grow. And this is still the same place where we help you to build wealth and accumulate. We help you to accumulate wealth and build success itself. Well, the question for today, and one thing that I want to know, did you know that every big brand that you know out there started somewhere as a small idea, but now, or even let's say it started as a side hustle, but now they're big brand. There are stages of growth in each and every business. And now let me give you a statistics. Today we'll be talking about the small SME, that is scaling your small SME from a small hustle to a big business, because definitely it is possible for you biashara yako kidogo yenye unaona hapo for you to become a business, a big business. But lazima kuna vitu zenye lazima ujue. You need to understand the organization itself. And let me read economic contribution of small SMEs into businesses. They say that SMEs represent, that is about 90% of businesses and more than 50% of employment worldwide. And they're saying that in emerging economies, formal SMEs contribute up to 40% of national income, that is GDP. GDP is gross domestic product. And still they get to say that in job creation, it's estimated that 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to 2025. So we have a period of 5 years to absorb the growing global workforce and making SMEs development as a high priority for many governments. So don't despise that small business that you have, because say it is by the time Africa 2030 it will be something needed, because we need to create employment in our country, but we need that business to be growing each and every day. And that's why today we'll be talking about that amazing topic, that is scaling your small SME from a side hustle to a big business, because it is possible. And that's why I have an amazing guest in studio, a man full of wisdom, and not only wisdom, he's full of experience. That is the founder of NTIDAI Insurance Agencies, that is Peter Waweru. And without further ado, I can't add anything. Allow me to introduce our guest to the show today, that is Peter Waweru. Welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Happy New Year. Unajua the last time ulikuwa hapa ni ulitufungia mwaka in Money Monday.
That is very true.
Yeah.
The year has started very well. God's grace has been sufficient. Yes.
How's the company itself? How is NTIDAI?
NTIDAI, we are doing well. The business is doing well. We thank God. Yes.
That's interesting. If the business is doing well, unajua the year is still young. We're in March.
This is quarter one, and in the quarter one we have actually hit our targets. So we say that business is doing very well. There is a lot of optimism within the country, and therefore the business is well. Yes.
And today we're talking, we're diving into this amazing topic, that is scaling a small SME from a side hustle to the big business itself. And I want us to start on that part here, understanding the growth itself, because I think that is the part that many people miss. But your growth, you want the business to grow, but you want the business to become big, but you want to miss that part here, growth. I want you to help us or elaborate on the key strategies for business growth, especially for a startup.
It's very good to understand, one, a business always begins from an idea.
An idea.
And most people do not lack the motivation in any business, but they lack the clarity.
Oh, the clarity itself.
And that is what we'll be discussing today, how to get the clarity in your business.
Ah, now I get it.
Because you're motivated to begin something, you have the cash, you have the idea, but what is the clarity of where I want to be? And that is why we say, where do you want to be in the next 5 years?
Oh, that's the big question.
Where do you want to be in the next 5 questions? 5 years.
5 years.
And there are 2 things that will be there and will guide you. One, the lesson that you have learned. And number 2, the network that you have created. So for your business to be able to grow, you must, one, be ready to learn. And number 2, you must also be able to create worth network.
Worth network.
These worth network are the ones that are now going to introduce you to actualization of your idea.
So it means that even the idea, ukiwa na idea, you need to consider network as part of it.
Very well. Because your idea is if you have an idea and you have no network, these network are one, who am I going to sell to? Whom am I going to buy from? Who is going to service me there? Service me?
That's
who is going to guide me? And whom am I going to work with?
To work with.
So even if you have a very good idea, you have your own money there and everything, if you don't have the network, then that business will still come to a halt. So the first thing that you need to understand when you're starting a business, you have a very good idea of the business. At that time, we normally say in the stages of a business growth, you are the owner of the business, the owner of the idea, but you cannot actualize that idea. How do you actualize that idea? First and foremost, there are those people that you're going to say, I want to have this idea and I want to actualize it. What are you going to do? There must be a person who is going to assist you in actualizing that idea.
That brings us back to your network now.
Yes, because the first person, if today you say you want to start a kiosk, where you want a small business, where you want to cook your own chapatis and sell to people. The first thing that you need to know, whom am I going to buy from? The source. That's the first person.
The wheat.
Then after buying, who is going to buy it?
The chapatis.
Yes. Then who is going to cook those chapatis?
Mfanyikazi.
Are you together?
Yeah.
Then after you have done that, at the end of the day, you need to sit down and ask myself, did I make a profit or was it a loss? So you have the idea.
Oh, you have the idea.
And then you have to actualize it. And that is why we say that life rewards actions, not intelligence.
Life rewards
action
and not
intelligence.
Wow.
We have so many people who are very much intelligent. By the time they are leaving their college, that by the time they are leaving the learning institution, they have a lot of intelligence.
Yeah, that's true.
We have people who have, if today you sit down at the marketplace just at Mairikumi or even at Ahero, and you ask people for the ideas, they have so many ideas.
Big ideas.
But life does not reward
intelligence.
Does not reward intelligence. It rewards actions.
Yeah.
So it is that SME you start by acting.
Wow. And now let's now get into that part after having the idea. Now sasa nimeshakuwa na idea, I've started now this business. Let's say nimeanguka now in that part here, action. Now moving from that informal business to a structured business, how does that work? Now
for you now to understand that, you have to understand two things. One, the business has the environment where it is going to be working.
The environment?
The environment that is going to be working. And the environment is divided into two. We have the internal environment and you have the external environment. The internal environments are my own capital, where I'm going to work, the employees that I'm going to work, the supply, the goods that I'm going to do with. Those are within my control. Those are within my control. That this is what I want to do. These are the resources. These are the people I'm going to work with. These are within my control. But at the same time, what affects most of the businesses is the external environment. One, the competitor. The government policies. The government policies. Okay? Because you may want to start a business today, but there are so many people. Remember nowadays, before you begin a business, you have to have what you call social impact. So that you start where you are starting your business. Is it within the right environment? Is it going to affect the people who are there? What are the government regulations within that area? For example, you cannot come and start a restaurant where you have your club, you're selling your own food, and at the same time you're selling, for example, alcohol to a school 300 meters. Yet you're seeing these are people who are going to buy from me. But you cannot start. Yeah, that's true. Are we together? You cannot come and say, I want to start a hospital, but you go right in the middle of an industry. Do not make noise. Are you getting? So the external environment again has to affect. So you have an idea, yes, but the external environment will affect. What I want to sell, for example, I cannot come and say, I have a very good idea of selling pork, and I want to go and start that business in a Muslim environment. The environment itself, because they don't eat pork. Yeah, they don't.
So you don't expect that business to work.
Yes. So the environment, the external environment affect your business. You have a very good idea, yes, but that business, where are you going to locate the business?
The location.
The location of the business. So those are the factors that you first begin. Yes, I have an idea. I want to start a business. But other than the internally, my idea that I have and I have the action, I have now to look at the location of the business. So that the product that I want to sell, I give it what we call place value.
Place value.
Because of great importance is giving a commodity the place value.
Elaborate on that.
A place value is, if today I come from Nyandarua, for example, I have a lot of my cabbages, I have my potatoes, I have my milk. Within that area, if I start a business of selling cabbages and potatoes and my milk within Nyandarua, the business will definitely fall.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody has the cabbages.
Kila mtu akona viazi.
Kila mtu akona viazi zake.
Yeah.
Kila mtu akona maziwa yake. So I have now to take myself, take that commodity, move it, for example, from there to Nakuru.
Yeah.
By the fact that I'm moving my cabbage from Nyandarua to Nakuru, I have given my commodity the place value. I'm giving it the price value. I add it now that commodity. I give it the monetary value. So I have to think of the location, give my commodity the place value, so that it increases the value that I need.
And all these things, does it affect the price of the commodity?
Very much. Because by the time I'm moving this commodity from one point to the other, I'll need a transporter. Now I get into my network again. Who is going to transport for me from here to there? Is it something that is perishable? How am I going to store it? And all those at the end of the day will affect what we call the price at the end of the day.
And actually, there is a person I was listening to, alikuwa anasema that many businesses huwa hawamalizi phase 1. What could be the problem?
The reason as to why most of the business do not go beyond phase 1, from the idea, the actualization, the reason is they don't take the consideration of internal and external environment and how they affect that business. You don't do what you call market intelligence to know what am I going to sell. Just as I've given the example, I want to sell pork, but where do I want to sell it? Do I have the customers? That is my network. Do I have the customers to go and sell? Who is going to be my supplier? Or because I have 2 porks in my compound, I slaughter the 2, then I have no others to slaughter. So where am I going to be getting this supply? I want to be selling potatoes. Yes, I haven't seen Nyandarua. There is a lot of potatoes because it is the harvesting season. Then the rest of the year, where will I be getting them? So in my network, remember we said, as I begin my business, I must look for the network. Who is going to be my supplier throughout the year? Then who is going to be my customer? Those are the things that affect the business.
And now let's talk about your part in ulisema ya clarity. I've started a business, you know, I have this structure, I've put my idea into action, it's working. And your part ya clarity, you know, kuna watu wenye wanza biashara, but you're not sure if this business is going to work 100%. Is it okay to have another backup plan?
You see, there is no single business. The business always begins with what you call the lag phase. There are phases of a business. It begins from the lag phase. This is whereby people, you're introducing yourself. You are not known to anyone. You have not created confidence with your suppliers. You have not created the confidence with your buyers. So at that phase, the moment you begin the business, you have an upsurge. So many people will come on the first day. Then they will now want to see what are you supplying. Remember, you're not the first person to do that business that you have. There is nothing new in this world. Ecclesiastes 3 says there is nothing new. It has been there and it will always be there. So there is no new idea. It's only how you're going to act within that idea. And number 2, God's grace to be sufficient with you and God's favor. So that the suppliers will have favor with you, the buyers will have. Now the clarity that you're talking about is, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? So that the moment you begin here, what you wanted to do, then the buyers, they'll give you a lesson to learn. I've had a boutique, which I learned for about 8 years. You may think these are the dresses that I want, and you go and buy, and you bring them to the shop,
to the boutique.
Then the next day, everybody who comes, I want this, I want the other, I want the other. Now here comes two aspects that are very important. Some of the customers that will come to your shop have two ideas. One, there are those who have the demand, and there are those who have the desire.
Oh, the demand and the desire, that's interesting.
The person who has the desire has the willingness to buy, but has no financial backing, has no financial ability to buy.
To buy that cloth, that.
So you will say, I need this, I need the other. And they're very good, those people, to visit your shop. If you are not very careful, you'll have dead stock. Then you have those with the demand, they have the desire, they have the want to buy, and they have the financial backing to buy it. So you have to identify in your business who are those people who have the desire and who have the demand. The people with desire will visit your shop and give you so many ideas, but you'll buy dead stock. Because they'll not buy. Number two, ensure from the word go, cash on delivery. Cash on delivery. Because most of the businesses fail because of credit.
Especially for startups.
Startup. Everybody want to come to you and they want to buy on credit.
Like so unajua, people think that nikipeana madeni, that is loyalty, you know, I'm creating connection with these people.
If you want to kill your business the first day, start on credit. Yeah. And majority of the business that have failed is because of offering credit.
So it's strong.
Work on cash. And work on cash. Because those people who are taking on credit are the people with the desire.
Oh, the desire, not the demand.
They have no demand. Because they want something, but they have no financial ability to purchase it. So as a startup business, try as much as possible to sell on cash. That will give you fruit. Because most of the businesses, why they fail is because of cash flow problems.
Cash flow problems.
Because I have a business, but I have no cash flow. And remember, at a startup, most of the money that I have goes into dead stock. The shelves, the government policy, the licenses and all that. So the liquid cash that remains to be a fruit is very minimal. And that is what you should have. Remember, you purchase certain things. If you're starting, for example, a hotel, you buy all the crockeries or whatever, but they're not going to give you their equipment to enable you to do the business. If you start a butchery, for example, there is the equipment that you're going to buy from the kitchen, the knives and all that, they're not going to be. If you're starting your matatu business, for example, you have bought the vehicle itself, you have installed the seats and everything, you have paid the government, but you need the running of that business, the fuel. You need every day to pay the city council, you need to pay the employees. That running costs. If now you go on credit, you'll go into what you call the cash flow.
Miski mambo ya madeni, first startup, first one lesson me, you know, uliza biashara jana, achana na madeni. And another thing, words of wisdom that you've got from Mr. Tindai, life does not reward intelligence. It rewards that is action itself. So, have you taken that action that is needed? You're going for a short break, but we'll be right back. Then we're going to check on how you can build, that is building a scalable organization. Then we're going to check on how you can overcome the growth challenges so that your business itatoka survival mode and then it becomes a very good business. Stay tuned.
Mizpah TV, keeping the fire of the altar burning.
Welcome to Mizpah House of Prayer, a space for all people and denominations, a house of prayer, fasting, worship, prophetic and pastoral guidance. We offer facilities such as prayer cells and resting rooms for short or extended stays. We're located in Bahati, Nakuru, just 14 kilometers from Nakuru town along the Nakuru-Nyahururu highway. Welcome. We cannot wait to host you. We are here for you, your family, the church, and the nation.
No matter where you are, no matter what you have gone through, you are still strong.
We are here to pray with you and for you.
For there is hope for a tree that is cut.
We are here to be a light and a beam of hope in your family and career life.
Join me, Pastor Peter Iregi,
Dennis Ole Jesus Kimani, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
as we stand in the gap in prayer for you.
This is Beam of Hope,
where we keep hope alive.
Mizpah TV, keeping the fire of the altar burning.
And welcome back. This is Money Monday, and today being on a Monday, let's talk about money and business. But let's angalia mambo ya SMEs, and we're talking about on scaling your small SME from a hustle to a big business. Did you know that is possible? And I'm not alone. You're back with Peter Waweru. Now metupe words of wisdom akatuambia that life does not award intelligence, it awards action. Are you taking the action that is needed and necessary for this season, you know, for your business? And now, Mr. Tindai, welcome back. Let's talk about that part here. Now you've started your business, we shall bring the idea, biashara inaendelea sasa. You know, as business grows, the leadership evolves. How does that work?
In the initial stages of a business, you are everything in that business. So you run across all departments within a business. Then, with the good strategies that you have laid, where you have an idea where I want to be in the next 5 years. The next thing that comes in here is the problem of leadership.
Leadership itself, yeah.
Because you'll now start employing people to work for you. And as people are starting working for you, there are a number of things. So you need to start having now the supervisors. Who is going to supervise who? Who is going to do A, B, C, D. You give people leadership. Now, as business grows, The first one, we have started with the idea. The idea has come, you have implemented the idea, you have taken the action. The second problem that comes into the business is how to read the business.
How to read the business.
How to read the business. If you overcome the problem of how to read the business, how to control those businesses people, then you'll go to the next phase, which is usually, I've given that person the leadership. So you'd be in charge of this area, you'd be in charge of this area, you'd be in charge of this area. Then the challenge that comes in now is how much rights and responsibility am I going to give to you? How much freedom?
After delegating the task itself.
I've delegated the duties. How much of power do I give to you? That is autonomy. So the next problem that comes here is the autonomy, the independence of how much you're going to do. Let's say, for example, you've started that business, and because you cannot be sitting down there, when you go to buy the supply, there's somebody who is here to make the decision, how much am I going to sell? Okay, where is it going to be delivered? How is it going to be delivered? You have now given that leader to make those decisions.
And then what determines now the decision, the will to make that decision to this level? What determines that?
That now comes into the second, a very important phase, what you call the skill match.
The skill match?
The skill match is having the right people with the right skills and the right attitude.
The right attitude.
And that is now whereby, as a business person, simply because you cannot be everywhere, and you want now to have the right people with the right attitude and with the right skills, you as the business owner, you either think that I'm going now to employ a very important person in my organization who is called the HR.
The HR.
The HR. That is the person who we call the HR. This is the person now who will be able to do, I have this idea. How does this idea get to my employees? That is the work of the HR. Now, most of the small businesses, that part becomes a challenge for them. And that is why now we have the HR consultants. Quite a good number of them within. Now, this HR consultant is the one now who you tell him, I want this and this and this employee. Then the HR consultant, or your HR, if you have one, will now go and get the right people, do the interview, and then match them with the idea that you have.
You match them with the idea.
Yes. Okay. Because most of the business do not fail because you don't have an idea. But it's who is doing it for you.
The matching itself,
yes, matching the staff, and then not only matching the staff, then training those staff.
You need to train them.
Yes, you have to train.
Oh, okay.
I think the next stage, remember, I'm a consultant in HR. This is where majority of the businesses fail. Because I have an employee, yes. I have recruited the employee, yes. He has the academic qualification, yes.
Yeah.
But does he have the right attitude?
Oh, so that's where training comes in?
I train them with attitude. Not two businesses work the same. So I have to train them to the new ideas that are there of how to do my business. Mizpah TV today, if I go to another TV, Mwejoyo, the way they do their things is totally different, the two.
That's true.
So the owner of this business must train his employees to his culture.
Yeah, they need to be part of it.
So that takes us now to the next level where we talk about what is the organizational culture.
So we need to have a culture. A business must have a culture. I don't know if your business has a culture.
What is the culture of the business?
SME out there, you know.
What is the culture? The culture of the business is the one that drives the business. And if you don't train your employees on that culture, then that business may not thrive.
And how does a company or a business culture play a role in scaling a business? You know,
it plays because we have a culture of one, time conscious, quality. If it is not quality, we don't do it. We do it precisely well. If not so, we don't do it. There's no mediocrity in our business. Those are the culture that you cultivate. Honesty as a culture within your business. Those are the things that differentiate your business from other businesses. I only supply the right quality at the right time. I consult for a business, a CCTV company, where they do installation of the CCTVs. And the culture is, we give you the right CCTV camera, we install the right CCTV camera, and we give you service backup for that. Not only just giving, but also ensuring that they outsource the right gadget, then they have the right technician to install, then they offer the after-sales business.
And now let's talk this part here. Business isha grow imefika your part. Now there is leadership. But now it feels like this business is still in survival mode because you're not sure. Then when do you know that nafaa nitoke survival mode ningie expansion mode of a business? You know?
The expansion of a business. One, remember we started off by your network.
Yeah, your network.
The network is your supply, the customers who are buying from you. And it costs 5 times to maintain one customer from gaining one more. So it is very important that customer who has come in, you maintain that customer, service him very well. So how do you get out of the survival mode? By this customer doing a referral and coming back to you.
And how do you make this person do a referral for you?
He will do a referral by the quality of the business, the quality of the service that you gave him.
Is it possible to retain the same customers? You know, unakuwa na this one customer has worked with you that journey for 2 years. Is it possible?
I started it in the insurance agencies in 2017 and have customers that the moment I started, they are still within my books, even today. And those customers have brought many more other customers. So when you're asking whether you can have a customer for 2 years, I've had customers since 2017.
2017.
There are schools that have insured since 2017, 2018, and they are still there, and they refer me to many others. There is nothing more important than a referral, because a referral is a sure business. Because that person has already sold your idea, has sold your product. So by the time you're going for a referral, it's a straight key business.
And in that part now that, let me take you back a little bit. You said the leadership evolves as business grows, right? And sasa utajulia wapi that now I need to formalize the department sasa?
Very good.
What tells you, your business is ready for this?
For you to formalize the business and to ensure that it does, you started your idea, then you start what you say, you raise your business now in what you call now the structure of the business. And you begin by having the policies that guides you.
A policy. Policies
that guide you. The policies that you're going to that are going to guide you, they may be the HR policies, because I'm playing with, I have people that I'm working with, the HR policies, the financial policies. What are the policies that I'm going to follow? Okay. Other than the HR policies, the successions or whatever I need to do, the credit policy, if I must give something on credit. Then from there, you now come and draw what you call the standard operating procedures, what you refer to as the SOPs. For you to go to the leadership, you must have the SOPs, the standard operating procedure. These are the standards that will be followed by each and every person in this organization. So that you don't do this to this customer, then the other one you do the other. You are guided by what you call the standard operating procedures, the SOPs. If your business doesn't have the SOPs, get in touch with Waweru. I'll assist you coming up with the standard operating procedures. If you don't have the HR policies that are going to guide you, because your employees, I'll be there to guide you in coming up with the HR policies. Then from the HR policies, this now will guide you to ensure that now your business is able now to take off very well. Okay? Two very important. The standard operating procedures, then the HR policies. The HR policies will guide you what are the job description. Remember, we are now talking about the leadership. The job description of each and every employee. What is expected of the employee and what are they supposed to do. Then from there now, from the job description, we come up with what we call the KPIs, the key performance indexes of each and every employee. With the key performance index, now it now starts saying we are able now to measure the performance of each and every person.
Okay, you know, it feels like now mtu akishafanya hizi vitu zote afike hiyo point, that person you feel like achieve everything, you know.
You see, with now the key performance indexes, you'll be able to know it is not just reporting to work for the employees, but what are they doing at work? Are they just busybodies? I live with a creep of a busybody who is there to be seen, but at the end of the day has no production. So you must measure the productivity of every employee.
And now let's talk about now, after having this good structure, this good idea, how can you make sure that you're having a structure that supports a long-term goal, you know?
To be able to have a long-term goal, we have now what you call the strategic plan.
You be strategic.
And that is why we said, remember in our discussion, we started by saying, in 5 years, there are two things that will be very important. The lessons and the network you have created. But the clarity that we talked about at the initial stages is guided by the strategies. The long-term period within 5 years where you want to be, then you break them to what you call the short terms. And that is why now you start, in the first year, you now start breaking down your work into what you normally call the SWOT. What are my strengths in this business? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities? What are my threats? So the moment you get what are my strengths, you strengthen and work more. Where you put more effort is your weaknesses to improve. And then what are the opportunities? Do you want to grab the opportunities and run with them?
Wait, are you supposed to put more effort on your weaknesses?
Yes, because those weaknesses are the ones that are going to bring down your business.
Because many people wanangalili part ya perfection.
No,
they forget the weakness themselves.
You may be very good in perfection running, but you are rimping. If you know you're not going to take care of your rimping, what are you going to do? If you're not going to take care, you realize that your weakness is that you don't have good employees, and you continue working with them without getting better employees. Maybe your supply is supplying low quality. That is your weakness. Maybe you need to go and maybe deliver. Maybe you don't have a vehicle, and therefore you're spending so much waiting on a matatu there to go and deliver. What is going to happen? You must work on your weakness so that you overcome that as a challenge, your weakness, so that you may be able to do better. Then what are the opportunities? Grasp them.
Every
and
opportunity
I want
for that
to tell you, opportunities come from, they don't look like opportunity from the word go. And I want to give an example of when somebody is mining gold. As good as gold is, it usually comes from very dirty rocks.
Yeah, that's true.
So opportunities will always come disguised.
Oh.
Opportunities will always come disguised as failures. But how you navigate that from the opportunity that you have and clean them to get the sweeter gold in it is what matters.
Oh. The how.
The how. And that is why when you're talking about most of the businesses that way they fail, we always ask the three questions. Where am I? Where should I be? And how shall I reach there?
Wow. And now let's talk about that point here. Where should I how, you know, the three, that is the how. Umesha navigate hizo zote, and now you're making a good progress. As you have employees each and every day, una employ new people, the HR, kazi inaendelea kuongezeka. Let's talk about that part here, managing the workload and the expectations itself.
That is very good, and that now goes to the how to do it. It's now the how to do is now where now it comes to the challenge of the leadership. Who is going to manage this for me? That is where now you move away from being the sole owner of the business and employ a manager. That person who now comes and runs the business on your behalf. Now the challenge comes in here. How much autonomy, how much power do I give to this person to make decisions? very important for you as a business. And if you're able to navigate to get the right person with the right idea, your business will run. Majority of the people will give to the next level of management, but the manager who comes in may not have the same ideology as you had. Then you drift back again to the drawing board.
Is it possible that you can employ someone in this person has a bigger, idea than yours?
Yes.
And is it possible that, is it okay for the leaders, but the person that you employ, this person is making even more impact than you're doing, Are you supposed to feel intimidated?
Let me tell you this. If you look at my hands, they are not the same. You may be a very good person here with very good ideologies, very good idea, but you're not a good salesperson.
Oh.
So you've employed a person who is a very good salesperson. Then you may be a very good salesperson, but you're not a good marketer. You may be a very good marketer, but you're not a very good budgeter. So you're not a good person in doing budgeting and focusing. So if you are a person who is employing all these people that you're employing, each one of them has bringing something better into your business. He's not a threat. Nobody, if I'm a good person in marketing, then maybe I'm not a very good person in budgeting. Public relation.
Yeah.
Are you together? I'm not a very good relationship person. That accountant who is very good in books and all that, bookkeeping, if you tell him to go and sell, atatupa kila customer. So you should not feel threatened.
Yeah.
And that is why now the HR is coming in, where you are saying, having the right people with the right skills being placed at the right point.
The right
and for the small businesses that are there, the SMEs, at times all these you may not employ all these people because remember, employing a person is a cost.
It is a cost, yeah.
And a cost to the business. That is where now you go for the consulting. You go to the consultant. You can go for a HR consultant. You can go for accounting consultant. That accountant will only come to your business, do your maths and do your bookkeeping at the end of the month or a certain duration. Then you have another person who comes in and do the government regulation, the taxation, the KRA, the returns and all that. Is able to do for you as a consultant.
Mr. Tindai, on that part that you have said in taxes, do you know there are few businesses zimefungwa because of what the economic downturns zenye zimekuwa, that is last year and e period yetu tumekuwa January and March. How can the small SMEs what can they do, or the strategies that they can do so that they will not be affected by the economic downturns of what is happening?
Very good. Remember in our discussion when we started, we said there how many parts of our business? The internal and external.
Yeah.
The external environment and internal environment. The external environment is where you have the taxations. Okay? Now, for the taxation not to affect you, how do you go about it? Is by ensuring that you do the right thing.
How?
And doing the right thing is whereby you have now the professionals who guide and advise the business in the right way. Are you together? Instead of having an employee whom you have employed and you have to pay all the the NSSF, you pay for that person, the shift, you pay the payee and all those costs. Go for what you call the consultant. It's cheaper.
Yeah, because let's say a person mtu akona kiosk, maybe it's not necessary for that person to employ a person,
Yeah.
a consultant.
You could go for a consultant. If you have a business that is running there, you reduce the cost by ensuring, for example, those taxes that are supposed to be paid, you pay them on time.
Paying the taxes on time. Kenyans, are you hearing?
Are you good together? Pay them on time. Okay? And be on the right track to do the right thing. Are you together? You don't close your business because these are external to your business. But remember, a good business will always thrive despite the taxation if it is profitable. And how do you do profitability? Is by having the right business at the right place and taking care of your networks.
Oh, your network. Make sure that you recheck your network.
Kindly take care of your network. The network, majority of the people do not understand the network. The network is of great importance because it is a supplier, the purchaser, and all those who do business with you. And honesty, integrity will make you the business. Wow. And remember, for any business to succeed, discipline is of great importance.
Discipline.
Discipline. You may have a very good business, you have very good ideology, but if you're not disciplined, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, because of